Jacoby, we are Jalen Jacoby. What is it that we do?
We get the people what they want.
The day is here. LeBron versus Steph. 7 versus 8 play-in game is upon us, but we start with the Celtics and Jason Tatum with 50 points and a big win over the Wizards. Did not see this coming. What did you think of Tatum's performance last night?
I actually did see this coming. Because if you're going to be an all-NBA caliber performer and a future superstar, we know that you're playing without Jaylen Brown. We know the Celtics haven't met expectations. And for everybody guessing, we've been saying it on this show, Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens are not on the hot seat. So you have a big stage. You're playing against the Wizards. Bradley Beal, your fellow guy from the Lose in town. Russell Westbrook is averaging a triple-double. The Boston Celtics still have a better roster, still have a better team. And Jason Tatum, that was his chance to prove who's the best player on the floor. And that's what he went out and performed like, putting up 50, catapulting his team into the playoffs to go against the Nets.
Tatum was the best player on the floor, and going into the game, you would expect maybe that'd be Bradley Beal, but he looked injured. Maybe that'd be Russell Westbrook. He didn't look right. And it also felt like the Wizards just couldn't hit a shot. You're not going to win a play-in game or a high-pressure game when you cannot hit a shot. Jalen, what do you think was wrong with this Wizards team last night?
Well, a couple of those shots are wide open, and then a few of those shots are contested. But your overarching point still stands. You're not going to win an NBA play-in game and you only make 3 threes. That's just that's just how today's game is built. And so when Russ isn't making them and Bill isn't making them, and then Bertans isn't making them, and you're the Washington Wizards, you're just not going to win.
No, they now have to play the Pacers. We'll get to that, but this means that the Celtics will face the Brooklyn Nets in the 2-7 matchup. And that also means that Kyrie Irving will be playing his former franchise. Jalen, do you think there's a little extra motivation from Kyrie?
For Boston Celtics fans, Kyrie's the one that got away. You won when you traded him for Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah was giving them 30, and then they traded him to the Cavs while he was injured, and the Cavs accepted the trade still. And you got Kyrie, and he said he was going to stay. And then he left. So did Scary Terry. So did Gordon Hayward. So now you're trying to chase and fill the void through the draft, through trades, adding Fournier. And so now all of a sudden you get a chance to see Kyrie Irving up close and personal on the super team that he signed to first and brought along Kevin Durant. And then they added James Harden. So anticipate a lot of boos for Kyrie Irving by Celtics fans, but he's not going to hear them. You remember the first time he went back to Celtics, he was burning sage in the arena.
Oh, he's got sage. Oh, he went to Costco. He got Costco shit sage. He's got he's going to burn a whole tree before the first game in this series in the Garden. And I can't wait for it. And I do not expect this series to be very competitive. They're going to need a couple more 50-point games from Jason Tatum just to keep this going. Jalen, in the other playing game, not that competitive. Not that competitive at all. The Hornets were young, and they looked young in this one. The Pacers looked good, and they got contributions from everybody, including that guy, Sabonis. Do you think the Pacers can ride this momentum and make it into the playoffs?
You know what I saw from Indiana? Blue-collar pride. Sabonis flirted with a triple-double, but played a terrific all-around floor game. He got up from his nap yesterday and realized that Karis LeVert was going to be out due to COVID protocol. And Malcolm Brogdon returned. And so the Pacers went deeper than Atlantis, inside of the box score. It got like 8 guys in double figures.
Oh, yeah. Everybody had at least 10.
Hornets. A dude wearing number 88 was out there getting
Batiste! That's my guy. And O'Shea Brissett, Batiste, Keelan Martin. These are not household names. These guys were not high draft picks that made all-star teams, and they were all contributing to combine. I think they got 144 points on this Hornets team that did look overmatched. But since this is the last Hornets game of the season, we have to salute and celebrate my Rookie of the Year, our king, one, LaMelo Ball. What a season this young man had. What do you expect from him moving forward?
So when you get a top flight pick, in particular in the top 3, after their rookie year, you need that guy to have shown the players on the team, the coaching staff and the organization, fan base and the media that he got the goods. And if you have that, it's just like having a quarterback in the NFL on their rookie deal. You saw Pittsburgh win it with Big Ben or Russell Wilson or even Joe Flacco. So now this offseason, the Hornets know that they got the goods in LaMelo, and they saw the improvement in Bridges. And P.J. Washington also had a really good season. You now have the building blocks to do something special because that guy with the basketball is dynamic as a playmaker, an improved three-point shooter, and so many people are going to want to come play with him. So shout to LaMelo Ball, the Rookie of the Year. Coach JB still did an amazing job with this roster, and the Hornets are coming in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, the Hornets have a lot to look forward to. It's very important to mention that Gordon Hayward was not available to them, not just in this game, but towards the end of the season, and he meant a lot to this team when he was healthy. Jalen, the day is here. It is finally upon us. Tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm staying up past my bedtime because we have LeBron versus Steph. The two superstars that faced off 4 times in the finals will now play in the first ever Western Conference 7-8 play-in game. Jalen, what is the roadmap for the Warriors to get an upset tonight?
I'm old enough to remember actually driving and the family taking trips using real maps. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, and going to Bainbridge, Georgia to visit my grandfather, and we're trying to figure out a real map to drive 18 hours to go visit my family in the South. So I have that for you with Steph Curry, and it's not going to be as difficult. You can actually use Waze for this one. He needs to make 10+ threes. Oof. If that happens, the Los Angeles Lakers will be getting shot down in this game because he has proven to me that he can do it, and not only do it, at a frequency that no other player can even come close to matching. Look at this.
Not even close.
Look at this, everyone. That's 9-14, okay, to 22. He has more this year, 7 or 8, than all of those guys have had in their careers. And if he's able to capture one of those games tonight, because remember, in his last game, he shot 36 times, a career high. He shot 22 threes, a career high. So he's going to shoot at least 20 threes. And 20 times 3, and I'm a dummy, that's a 60.
Oh, right? Look at you. I'm proud of you, Jay.
So he made half of those, that's 30. They'll be definitely close into the game if that happens. The Lakers going to be switching those actions, those dribble handoff actions, double, triple teaming, those pick and roll actions, almost like that footage we saw earlier in the year. I think they're playing against the Thunder, when he dribbled across half court and all 5 of them were standing there.
He's going to see a lot of defense like this.
Defensively.
He's going to see a lot of double teams and triple teams tonight, and I do not think that Steph Curry himself will be able to shoot the Warriors into this one. I expect this to be a pretty easy win for the Lakers. I'm trying to go to bed. I'm trying to go to bed early tonight, Lakers. So finish this one up. I want y'all up by half. By halftime, I want you up 20, and then midway through the third, I want to go to sleep because I want to get my rest. And I think the Lakers will not just win this one, but win this one easily. And LeBron was out with Drake last night. LeBron was partying with Drake last night. That's how confident these Lakers are. That's how confident these Lakers are about this playing game. LeBron was out with Drake partying. That's how confident these Lakers are. This is an easy win for the Lakers.
This is the time of year that your enthusiasm for LeBron James and his excellence continues to heighten. Look at you. You look at you like LeBron's back, AD's back. You don't care if they're in the 7th seed.
All you can talk about all the threes that Steph Curry's going to shoot. This is not even going to be close. This is not even going to be close. And then the Sun series, that's not going to be close either. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have to pick the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals on camera, even though you've been disrespecting the purple and gold and LeBron James all season long. I can't wait. I see how it's going to play out, Mr. Rose. I see it. And while I am keyed on the Lakers, Nothing brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, on Saturday, the Brooklyn Nets have a playoff game against the Celtics. However, New York City does not care because on Sunday, it is the New York Knicks who will take the floor against the Hawks in the 4-5 matchup, and the game will be here in Madison Square Garden. And Jalen, you know I'm a Die Easy fan. I jump on and off bandwagons, but I am fully on the New York Knicks bandwagon. See me and Spike right there? Like, I am for this Knickerbocker team until they get down 2 games in this series. Jalen, what do you expect to see from the Knicks and Hawks on Sunday?
I got to tell you a secret. You're my GPS to New York City and places to go watch sporting events.
Yep,
and
I got
when you move, I hit up your old bars. And I got to tell you a secret. You was out with the family the last couple of weekends, and I hit up a couple of your old spots, and I went into your old spots. They were watching the replay of the Knicks game while the Nets were on live.
Yes.
Okay? Let me just say that again. They were watching the replay of the Knicks game while the Nets were on live. And I actually had the nerve to ask for somebody to change the channel. No. Oh my God, I saw a different side of all of these people I've been tipping my hard-earned money to. They treated me so different. And so you're exactly right.
When you're here. You feel it when you're here. New York City cares so much more about the Knicks than the Nets. It is palpable. The Nets have two former MVPs, and Kyrie Irving, one of the most dazzling people to ever hold a basketball. And no one cares whatsoever because the Knicks are hosting a Game 1 in Madison Square Garden. I cannot wait for that. But they are not the best basketball show in New York City. That is our girl, Sabrina Ionescu, for the Liberty, had the first triple-double in the history of the franchise. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists. What do you think about Sabrina showing out against the Lynx?
And that's always my job to go deeper into the box score, right? The rookie Laney is also balling. And remember, she was the one the night of the WNBA draft whose grandma went viral celebrating her draft pick.
That's right.
So them two playing together, she now has somebody to feed. Ionescu is a scorer. And while we talking about Julius Randle and how much he should run for governor, she keeps this up. They should be a ticket. They now become a ticket. And how about that? They become a ticket and no member of the Nets need to be on it. They can have the New Yorker cover and remove the Nets and not mention our girl Sabrina. But for people that work in New York and live in New York, it's about Sabrina and the New York Knickerbockers.
And you're going to charge $1,000 to sit in the nosebleeds at Madison Square Garden? I'm not taking my kids to that. I'm taking my kids to see Sabrina. We're going to Barclays and we're watching the Liberty because I ain't paying $1,000 to watch the Nets when the Knicks win a playoff game. Big shout out to Sabrina. We look forward to supporting her for the rest of the season. That is her game winner in the previous game, and then she went out and had a triple-double. She's had an amazing start to the season.
Mentality.
Excited about her. Jalen, the NFL schedules came out last week. So now this week, we have the betting odds for all the games, and most notably, the Kansas City Chiefs are favorites in 16 of the 17 games this season. What is your reaction to that?
They lost the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes was injured. He needed off-season surgery, and they're still playing in fast forward. Do they still have Mahomes?
Yes.
Do they still have the cheetah?
Yes.
Do they still have Travis Kelce?
Yes.
Is Andy Reid still on the sideline?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So I am not surprised that the Kansas City Chiefs are favored. They should be. Do you think they could go undefeated is my question.
It's so hard to go undefeated in an NFL season that it's only happened a couple times, so they will not go undefeated. That's unrealistic expectations, but they're going to win 14 games of 17, 15 games of 17, and they are my pick to win the Super Bowl. But more importantly, Jalen Rose, you know what? I need to apologize to you and to the city of Detroit and to Lions fans because I said that the Lions would not be favored in a single game this entire season.
I told you I was wrong.
I was wrong.
I told you that.
Because they're a pick-em against the Eagles. So they're favored to lose every single game, except against the Eagles, they said it was a pick-em. So I apologize. I just want to say I apologize to all Lions fans because Week 8 is a pick-em, but they are expected to lose every single other game on the calendar. Every game, Jalen.
You know
How do you
what
feel about
I
your
learned
Lions?
during the pandemic?
What'd you learn?
How everybody needed to create backgrounds. Well, we've been doing this for 10 years. So we set the mood, we set the culture, we are the standard, right? And the one thing I notice is that people that look like you, they have a couple of people behind them, right? They might have MJ, they might have the late, great Kobe Bryant, right? But I noticed something. I'm the only person that I've ever seen with a Detroit Lions helmet. It could be former players, it could be Detroit natives, it could be whoever. I'm the only person that I've ever seen with a Lions helmet. And I'm telling you right now, bet the over. Take the over. Don't listen to Jacoby. My Lions is going to win at least 5.5 games this year, even though we only favorite in, I guess, a half a game, a pick 'em against the Eagles.
They're not favored to win a single game. Jalen, Tony La Russa is the manager of the White Sox. One of his players, Mercedes, hit a home run on an 0-3 count. Okay, a 3-0 count, which you're not supposed to do, especially late in the game when you're ahead by 11 runs. Fair. However, then the next night he was thrown at, and La Russa didn't exactly stand up for his player that was thrown at. Do you think his sort of old school philosophy has lost the locker room?
Jacoby, baseball continues to do the opposite of basketball. Basketball tries to make the game hip and cool and makes adjustments like play-ins. And baseball gets more archaic with these unwritten rules. So let me get this right. You have a rookie that's setting the league on fire, that's hitting mid-300s, and all of a sudden you're going to reprimand him publicly for hitting a home run on a 3-0 pitch. Number one. And then number two, not defend him when he gets thrown at and then reprimand him and say that you're going to deal with him eternally. Like, I just don't like this overtone, so I agree with you. That's how you lose your players. In particular, a young, talented guy like this.
Jalen, the head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers said, we weren't tanking to avoid the Lakers. We weren't tanking to avoid the Lakers. We will discuss Ty Lue's claims right after this short break. Make sure you stay tuned for that. You're watching Jalen and Jacoby.
Nobody move. Nobody gets hurt.
Back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, Ty Lue, the head coach of the Clippers, said, you know what? We were not tanking those last couple games to avoid the Lakers side of the bracket. We were just resting our guys to keep them healthy. What do you think about the head coach of the Clippers' comments?
Okay, so we know Kawhi and Paul George low manage. We know Patrick Beverley and Serge Ibaka have dealt with injury.
Yep.
But a constant this year has been Zubac. He's played in every game this season. In the final game of the year, they're playing against the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that is not trying to win. How many minutes did he play against the Thunder, and what did he do to start that game, Jacoby?
Oh, he played 0 minutes. He started the game, and in 6 seconds, intentionally fouled someone from the Thunder so he could go out, so he could maintain the fact that he played every game this season.
Facts speak for themselves. So I'm actually not mad at you and the Clippers, T. Lue. You weren't there when they got bounced by the Nuggets last year, and we got deprived of our LA Conference Finals. And unless the Utah Jazz upset the apple cart, we'll get them in the Western Conference Final. I don't want to see Kawhi and LeBron in the first or second round. We need to see it on the big stage if it's going to happen.
Well, another team that's trying to keep LA from playing LA are the Phoenix Suns, whose head coach, Monty Williams, won Coach of the Year. What do you think about his performance in Phoenix this season?
Well deserved. You integrate Chris Paul. You make Booker more efficient. You develop Mikal Bridges. Ayton continues to improve. They're a second seed in the Western Conference. He deserved the opportunity to win Coach of the Year. I voted for him. Congratulations.
Jalen, the PGA Championship is on ESPN Thursday and Friday, meaning we are off until Monday at 2 p.m. Enjoy the championship. Enjoy the NBA playoffs.